Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today we're going to be starting a new vlog. This one's going to be a little bit different and it is going to be reminiscent of Jade's Days in the Life video. If you have not seen it, I will leave it up here and I will leave it linked in the description box down below. It's very good. She's just trying to fall back in love with filming again and I love that for her. It was a very good video. I really enjoyed it. So I would recommend going checking that one out. But I thought that that might be a fun one for me to do. I have been struggling very, very hard. You're probably sick of me mentioning this now, but just in case anyone jumps in on this video and hasn't seen something previous, I like to recap. I have been struggling with a slump since probably mid-July now. The last like 2 weeks of July. It is currently the 18th of August and it is continuing to drag me down. So I am struggling very hard with this situation and it's gotten to a point now where it's very heavily affecting my actual life, like my day-to-day life and my mood and my mental state of mind, which isn't great. I haven't felt this bad for a really long time, like a very, very, very long time. So it's not good. I am not in a particularly good state of mind and I really need to try and pick myself up a little bit. I think I need to stop beating myself up about stuff that I'm not doing, whether it be reading or whether it be filming. I actually missed like 4 days of filming in last week's vlog. So we're just taking it easy this week and we're just going to do a couple of days. I am home Monday and Tuesday. As I say, today's Monday 18th. I'm home Tuesday as well. I think the school holidays have been affecting me as well. My routine has been completely thrown out with the school holidays because Thomas is off school, obviously, and Tara still works Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I've actually been working Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but it's knocked my whole routine off and it's been really affecting me. I have ADHD, undiagnosed, but I've got it. I know I have. And I'm in the process of being diagnosed. That's also dragging its heels. That's a story for another day. But I don't need a complete routine, but I like to know what I'm doing on my days. So if I know well in advance that I'm working a Tuesday, Wednesday, it's not too bad. But I prefer to have Monday and Tuesday at home. I get so much more work done on a Monday and Tuesday because it's 2 days back to back, and then work for my dad Wednesday, Thursday. It works so much better for me. So it's been really cocking me up that I've been working Tuesday and Wednesday. However, this week, Thomas is going to a school friend's house tomorrow, so I'm working Wednesday and Thursday, which is really nice. I do get 2 full days at home, which is lush, and I'm very excited for. So because my mental state has not been great, I've been sleeping quite a bit as well, like in the day, which I never do these days. So that's been really affecting me as well. So we're going to see if we can try and pick myself up a little bit, just be a bit kinder to myself. This might not even have any reading in it. I am going to try, but it might not even have any reading in it. I will tell you a couple of things that I won't tell you all the things I'm in the middle of because we will be here all week. But I'll tell you maybe 1 or 2 things that I may pick up. Actually, I'll just tell you one because I think that this, if I really enjoy it enough, I could continue on with the rest of the series and just binge it a little bit. But I think what I'm going to try and do is be a lot kinder to myself. I've got a lot of work to do today, which if I can hyper focus on, really lock in on, I could probably get a load of work done today and then maybe be a bit more lax tomorrow. But I have made myself a little to-do list. So I'm going to put it on screen now for you so that you can visually see it while I run through. But first things first, put the washing on. The washing has already gone on. I haven't ticked that off yet because I need to remember to then put it on a spin and then hang it up outside if it's going to be nice today, which I think it is. It's just looking a bit dull now because it's fucking 6:30 in the morning. Number 2, take the mince out of the freezer. I've done that. I'm leaving it on the counter for an hour or so and then I'm going to put it in the fridge. So I've not ticked that one off yet. Number 3, wrap up last week's vlog. I have literally just done that one, so it is ticked off. And then I need to edit last week's vlog and upload. I also need to do a thumbnail for that, so I haven't obviously ticked that off because that's what I want to try and do this morning. Then start the Days in the Life vlog. I can now tick that off because I'm currently filming this clip to start that vlog. organised content. I need to do another shuffle yet again on my upcoming content for YouTube because I am not keeping up with the plans that I had because of my slump, and it is starting to now also affect what I'm filming. So I need to sort that out and try and reshuffle that about a little bit and get that reorganised. At 9:30 I do have sprints with my patrons, so I would love to get last week's vlog edited before then if I can, because I can't export at the same time as streaming. My computer can't cope. And it exports the video with black screens, even though you can still hear me. There is no visuals, so I can't, if I can at least get it edited, not exported before the sprints, that's great, because I can export it later on this evening when I finish sprints, so that would be fine, but just at least edited, that would be great. And then I have put film and read with question marks. I'm gonna see how I'm feeling, and if I can get something filmed I will, but if I'm not in the mood, that's fine. I've just put them on as options. And then pack days in B orders. I do have a couple outstanding that I need to pack, and then empty the dishwasher. That is another thing downstairs in the kitchen that I need to do. If I could tidy the house a little bit, that would also be great, but I didn't want to put it on today's list because it's already looking a little bit overwhelming for me. So those are some things that I've got going on. I would also like to take some content for Instagram and TikTok as well, but again, we're just going to see how it goes, which is why I put film question mark, because that could be for YouTube or TikTok/Instagram. So we'll see how that goes. But those are my plans. So the book that I am currently partway through is Unhinged. Is Unhinged by Steph. We're following our main character Avery, who was found survived a burned building that did have her father or stepfather in, I think. And she ends up being put into, I think it's called Lily Vale, if I remember correctly. Lily Vale whatever. I've literally just shut down the synopsis for it and I can't bother to look for it again. My apologies. Lilyvale Academy or something like that. It's not an academy. She describes it as essentially a prison or an asylum for the clinically insane. So she's like, it makes no sense though to allow a bunch of young insane people together, and it's supposed to be a why choose. So I'm interested to see where this goes. I've had the POV of Gray, who is one of the guys, I think. There is also Damon within his group, and then another guy, I think, and then there's one other guy who she seems to have, well, he's caught her eye, and she seems to be interested in, but he seems to be very moody and dark, and I don't know what's going on with that. So I don't know how many guys are going to be involved in this, but I'm interested to see where it goes. Gray's the only other POV we've had other than Avery's so far, so I'm enjoying it so far. I think I literally have less than 2 hours on the audiobook left from that, so maybe I could finish that. We will see what happens. There is 2 more books following on from that one, and then the 4th one does come out in September. So we'll see if I manage to finish it, and if I do enjoy it enough to continue on. I did get partway through Alchemy and a Cup of Tea, literally 38 pages. I would love to continue on with that, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. So we'll see what happens for the next couple of days. I will be filming today and tomorrow, and just see how that goes. On the weekend, I do have my 24-hour timer challenge that I'm going to be doing. I'm supposed to be doing Saturday and Sunday. However, Andy's going away with his mum, and I'm taking them all to the airport on Saturday, but they don't need to be at the airport until about 4:30 or 5 o'clock. So that interrupts my day quite significantly. He's going to pick them up early, bring them here, go for lunch. So it's really impacting my day. So it could end up just bleeding into Monday next week, which is fine. Or I may start it a little bit earlier, maybe like Thursday or Friday. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll do a few hours on Thursday just to get myself in. And then, you know, I've got a good chunk of the weekend then to do the rest. So we'll see what happens with that. But this is why I'm just doing a couple of days today. It will get me back into picking my camera up after not touching it for 4 whole days. Insane. So let's get on with the week, shall we? And not the week, the day, shall we? And let's start getting on with this to-do list and get some stuff done and just spend a couple of days with me. I think I'm going to try and do like some cozy stuff, maybe some colouring, bit gaming. Like I say, maybe if I can get back onto Monopoly on my Switch, because I'm really enjoying playing Monopoly at the moment while listening to an audiobook. This audiobook for Unhinged would be a good one because the audio is done very, very well. It's it's, well, I would say it's duet narration. It's not, it's a full cast, but they're all doing their own bits. I'm also currently watching Alice in Borderland as well with Andy, so I would like to find out where he got up to last night, because I did go up to bed and he carried on for a bit, and maybe catch myself up so that tonight when he comes home from work we can watch another episode or two with tea. So I would like to get back to that. I'm also keen actually to pick up maybe Dungeon Crawler Carl as well, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to go because this has been a very long introduction, and I'll check back in with you later.
I don't wanna let you down. It's the only thing I think about every morning. You know my life ain't figured out, but I promise if you stick around it'll never get boring. We'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flats even though we can't afford them. I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna lose you now. Will you stay even when you wanna walk away? When times get bad, we can learn to love what we have. I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna let you down.
Okay, it's currently 11 o'clock. The postie's just been, I thought it was one package, it's not, it's 4. So we might as well open them up together. This is from Stitches. I'm about, yeah it is, it says it on the front. We'll open that in a second. Let's open these books. I assume they're books anyway. Oh, yay! Wait, I think I've just found a book that I want to read. It's the volume 2 of the comic for Under the Oak Tree. I loved volume 1. Thank you to Inklaw for sending me this. I love you guys. You're amazing. Thank you so much. I don't actually know when this comes out. Editing me will put it on the screen when this comes out. I will probably end up reading this now, actually, that it's come, because I'm very excited about that. Yay. I think this is publisher mail. Yeah, it looks like it. Actually, they all look like publisher mail. Actually, it's kind of exciting, but also kind of terrifying, because hopefully I don't need to read too much. Thank you to Evermore for sending me this stunner. I've already read it. Yay! I loved this. I gave it 5 stars. I cannot recommend it enough. If you want yourself a motorcycle romance, if you're a fan of Sons of Anarchy, this is definitely for you. If you're a fan of Sons of Anarchy, but you wanted it to be spicier, this is definitely for you. I highly recommend it. It was so, so good. I gave it 5 stars. It was so good. Definitely recommend. I now have 2 copies of this because I have the indie edition. I'm obsessed with this artwork. It's stunning. Love that. Thank you very much to Evermore. My goodness, Penguin, you're keeping me in books, man. Thanks so much. All right, this last one. Is this Inklaw again? It is. Cherry Blossoms After Winter, Volume 3. How sweet of them. Guys, thank you so much. Amazing. Penguin. Doing the frickin' most. I love it when I have a really good, like, Penguin haul day. Amazeballs. I actually don't have volume 2 of this yet, so I'm going to have to get that so that I can continue reading it, because I really loved volume 1. But thank you so much to Penguin as a whole, but Evermore and Inklaw for sending me these. I truly appreciate you. You are the best. You put a smile right on my face. I appreciate you so much. All right, and then Stitches. I had a parcel from her yesterday, and it was Andy's sweater, which is the We All Float Down Here one, and also my Winnie the Pooh one as well, my Witchy Winnie the Pooh one. Just love it. I'm obsessed with that sweater. She told me not to put that one in my basket. She was just going to send it me because it's very, she said it was very Steph core, so, and I absolutely needed one. She is not wrong. So, let's see what I ordered, because I have forgotten. All right, I got We Are the Weirdos Mr. sweater. Stunning. I can't remember the movie that this is from. I'll put it on the screen if I remember. This one I'm really excited about. I don't know if she was already going to do it anyway, but she was asking for some suggestions from quotes from movies or TV shows. And this was one of my suggestions. She was probably already doing it anyway, but it did mean that I needed to get it. And it is, Can I Keep You? From Casper. I love Casper. I was called Casper for most of my life in high school. If not Casper, I was called Snow White or Morticia. My mum used to call me Morticia. Not mad about it, honestly. And then this one, I think, was one of the quote ones that she's done, and I got it with orange text. Support your local witches, bitches. I have a Stitches t-shirt on right now, actually, this Summerween one. So, yeah. More to add to my collection. If you don't know who Stitches is, it is my friend Katerina, and she does the t-shirts, she does the sweaters, she does movies, she does horror, she does Bookish, she does TV shows, she does all kinds of stuff. There are so many different ones that she does. I will leave a link to her in the description box down below. There will be a normal link, but I will also leave the link because I have an affiliate code that will get you 15% off her website. I earn a little bit of commission, but it gets you 15% off everything on her website. And it helps support a small business as well as myself. But if you just want to support the small business, absolutely fine. I will just leave a link to Stitches in the description box down below. And then I'll leave another link with my discount code if you would like to get a little bit of discount and I earn a little bit of commission as well. Can't recommend her stuff enough. I have so much. In fact, of all the clothes that I have in my entire closet and in my drawers as a whole, I think I used to have more stuff from the likes of like Boohoo or New Look. Most of my stuff now is Stitches. T-shirts and sweaters, Stitches. I will be in Stitches stuff all autumn and winter. Trust me on that. So yeah, amazing. What an amazing little haul. That's put a right smile on my face. I now need to tidy this room up. I have also decided as well, after chatting with my patrons, I've decided to go through my currently reading list on Goodreads and take a couple of those books off my Where My Books Go to Die shelf, which is right here. Is that correct? Oh no, it's on this end. So there were like 7 books lined up on there. I've taken a couple off. I have decided to put, I had both my copies of Silver Cloak on there. I made it about 30 pages into this before I put it down. It's my slump more than anything. I do think I'm going to love this, but it's my slump more than anything. So I've decided to put this back off the shelf, take it off my currently reading, and then also Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil as well. I've decided, I was like 82 pages into this, so I was a fair ways into it. But I can't decide if it's me that's the problem or the book. I think it could be the book that's the problem, actually, in this instance, because I don't know if I'm going to love this. I have decided to unhaul my Fairy Loot edition because I don't particularly love this one, unfortunately. So decided to unhaul that one, but I'll keep this one. It can go back on the shelf. Take that off my currently reading as well. The other 2 that are still on there are Kill Switch and Diabound, because I'm like 110 pages into Kill Switch, but I will be coming back to that when I'm in a better mental headspace. I'm just not in the right headspace for how dark that book is right now. And Diabound, I'm like 332 pages into, so I will be continuing that one as well. But yeah, and I have continued on with Unhinged. I was 62 pages in, I'm now 99 pages in. So I've edited my vlog. That I exported it, but it came out wrong, so I can't export it now that I'm on sprints with patrons. So I will try and export it again later or tomorrow. I have sorted my washing out, so that's all done. I've emptied the dishwasher, forgot to press film on the camera. Sorry. So all of my chores now are done. I've packed my Daisy and Bee orders. All the chores now are done. And I can pretty much just like read for the rest of the day or play on the Switch, catch up on some YouTube or watch a bit of telly, maybe see how far Andy got with Alice in Borderland and maybe catch up with that. I've got the day to kind of do what I want with, but I'm sprinting with patrons. So I'm going to try and make my way through Unhinged and get that finished. And then they've suggested maybe trying a chapter of each of the arcs that I have coming up that are going to be releasing it over the next couple of weeks, because I have like 5 that are going to be releasing over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So maybe trying a chapter of each of those and seeing if I can make my way through any of them. And if the answer is no, then just moving on to something else. I may pick Under the Oak Tree now that that's come in though. I'm excited about that. So that is cool beans. So yeah, that's where I'm up to. I may try and take some Instagram photos as well, but I am pretty hungry, so I'm going to snack on some crisps. Once I've finished Unhinged, I will then have my lunch. That's going to be my treat. Not that I'm starving myself, I'm not, but that's going to be my treat. Once I've finished Unhinged, I can have my lunch. So let's go. I need to tidy this up. Hello. It is a wee bit later in the day. It is, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but 2:30 almost. Dental time. Yeah, it is much later in the day. I'm still doing sprints with my patrons, but it feels like it's been a pretty productive day. To be honest, I'm quite happy with what I've managed to get done today. I have done the housework that I wanted to get done, which is great, with the washing and the dishwasher and cleaning the kitchen a wee bit. I do need to do a bin run, but I can do that a little bit later on. I did manage to edit that video this morning. I've already told you the export didn't work, so I do need to sort that out later, but I can't do that while I'm on sprints at the same time. My computer can't export and stream at the same time. So since then, I've just kind of been reading, and it's been nice. I think the sprints help me stay focused. I think otherwise I would just be faffing and doing literally anything else, but I did make the decision to actually DNF Unhinged. I only had an hour of the audiobook left, which I know sounds unhinged in of itself. However, the thing with this book, I think, is that because it's only 227 pages long, we don't get to be invested in the characters at this point. I'm not invested in Avery. I'm probably more actually invested in Gray and Theo. I'm not quite invested in Damon yet. I think they're the love interests. But I'm more invested in Gray and Theo than I am in Avery. But we've not got enough information about these people for me to be completely invested. I think the situation between Gray and Avery is very insta-lovey. I'm way more invested in the situation between Theo and Avery because I feel like he's taking a bit more time to try and get to know her a little bit better at the moment that I DNF'd anyway. There was a moment, not a sex scene fully, but there was a spicy scene between Gray and Avery that happened right before I DNF'd, and it gave me the ick, and I don't know why. And the minute that Spice gives me the ick in a completely spicy story, I'm assuming there is some plot to this, but I don't know what it is at this moment in time. I think there's going to be a mystery element to it, but right now I don't know what that is. So right now we're just focused on the Spice and the relationship between Avery and these guys. But I'm just, the minute that gives me the ick, I'm not here for it. I'm not a lover of Why Choose stories, actually. I don't think I've picked many of them up. I loved Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen, maybe. I loved that one, but I haven't continued on with the series yet. I do want to. Once I found out it was more than just the quartet that I thought it was, I decided to put that on pause until other books in the series came out. Because I think it's supposed to be like a 6, 7 or 8 book series, that series, so I'm not sure. So until more books are coming out in that series, I have decided to put a pause on it, but I did enjoy the first one, and I was very invested because it was a reasonable length novel. It wasn't too insta-lovey, and we got some interaction with our FMC with each of the guys, and I was enjoying it. I was having a good time. The thing with this one is that we're getting some interaction with Avery and Theo, and then Avery and Gray. It's way more like sexual tension. Well, it's not even really tension, to be honest, but it's way more kind of sex driven with Gray than it appears to be with Theo. It could be more deep with Theo, I reckon. And then we've got nothing so far with Avery and Damon. Absolutely nothing. And from some of the looks of some of the reviews, I don't know if we're going to get anything by the end of book one. I believe it leaves you on quite the cliffhanger that a lot of people that didn't even love book one have decided to continue on because of the cliffhanger. I'm just not invested enough right now. And because of my slump, I'm not invested enough that I would want to continue on with it, even with the cliffhanger. So I just made the decision to DNF it. I'm a little bit annoyed with myself for doing that, really, with only an hour to go. It took me 4 days though to get to that point, and the audiobook's only about 5 hours long, which is insane. It shouldn't have taken me that long, but alas, it is what it is. So I've made the decision to DNF that. I've also made the decision to put my cute ass Winnie the Pooh sweater on that Katrina sent me from Stitch S. Adorable. So I put that on. And then I did make the decision to pick up Under the Oak Tree Volume 2, the comic, by Suji Kim, which I opened with you literally 2 hours ago. Not even that. So I did. Have I already told you that I made the decision to DNF on him? No, I haven't. I didn't. I was 99 pages in. I got to about page 137 when I decided to DNF. Anyway, I've just read this and I really enjoyed it. I'm loving this series so far. I noticed that it's actually a webcomic or something. Manta. You can read it on. So I'm tempted to... Yeah, the webcomic on Manta. Tempted to see if I can continue reading it on there, but I also do like to have these copies. It was the same with Lore Olympus. I always collected the copies, but I'm really enjoying this story so far. We do follow Riftan and... Oh, I'm calling him Ritan. It's Riftan. I better check my review. We do follow Maxie and Riftan, and essentially Maxie comes from a very... kind of violent household. Her dad is quite the abuser and has always just kind of shit on her. She's got a stutter and he's always kind of shit on her and held his other daughter in higher regard than her. Anyway, one day this guy comes along called Riftan, who is an upcoming noble like knight, Sir Riftan, and essentially he's a low-born knight caught in one of her father's schemes. So she ends up being married off to him, and then he, on their wedding night, like they consummating the marriage, and then he disappears for like 3 years. He goes to war and disappears for 3 years and then comes back for her one day and decides to take her away. So he takes her back to his place and he's actually like the sweetest being with her. She thinks that he's really fucking mad with her. He's really disappointed in this situation, etc., etc. And she thinks he's going to end up treating her like her father has. But he's actually the sweetest being, and I kind of love it because he's this really, really like huge knight. He's got insane power and strength and stuff, and he is like the dragon slayer, etc., etc. He's all these things, but he's such a sweet being with her and such a softie, and I just absolutely love this series. So I'm having a very good time with it, loving reading this one, and I gave it 4.5 stars. So I had a very good time with that one. It took me longer than it normally would to get through, but I'm glad that I've read it. And then I did do a poll, you will have seen, but I did do a poll with my patrons. I've decided that I want to, I think because the smut in Unhinged give me the ick, I think I do need to kind of step away maybe from romance a little bit and not have a smutty read. So I've actually made the decision to pick up a horror/thriller, and I did have 4 options, and the one that ended up winning was Cackle. I read the synopsis of each of them out to my patrons and they picked based on that. So this one does say, all her life Annie has played it nice and safe. After being unceremoniously dumped by a long-term boyfriend, Annie seeks a fresh start. She accepts a teaching job that moves her from Manhattan to a small village upstate. Her new home is picturesque and perfect. The people are friendly and warm. Her apartment is lovely too, minus the oddly persistent spider infestation. Ugh. Then Annie meets Sophie, beautiful, charming, magnetic Sophie, who takes a special interest in Annie, who wants to be her friend. More importantly, she wants Annie to stop apologising and start living for herself. That's how Sophie lives. Annie can't help but gravitate towards the self-possessed Sophie, wanting to spend more and more time with her despite the fact the rest of the town seems a little afraid of her. And okay, Sophie's appearance is uncanny and ageless. Her mansion in the middle of the woods feels a little unearthly, and she does seem to wield a certain power. she couldn't be, could she? A deliciously dark feminist tale of witches, bad ex-boyfriends, good coffee and friendly spiders. It just sounds like what I need right now. I'm like super in my witchy era. I've got my Winnie the Pooh witchy sweater on, you know? I'm in my witchy era. And I feel like maybe a darker horror witchy read is what I need rather than a cozy witchy read, if that makes sense. Like, I would love to do a reread of Very Secret Society of Regular Witches by Sangu Mandana, but I don't think I'm in the right headspace to be tabbing and annotating right now. So I feel like this one will be a good one. I've also got a couple of books from Rachel Harrison on my TBR, this one and Such Sharp Teeth, and then I've got another one. I can't remember whether it's the Thirsty one or if it's I can't remember which one it is that I've got, but it's on my Kindle. So I've got at least 3 of her books and I've never read a single book from her. And more keep coming out and I keep purchasing them. So I should probably read something from her and check that she's for me. But yeah, I thought that I would give this one a read. It sounds really good. So I'm intrigued to see how it goes. Alexis Henderson, one of my favourite authors, albeit I've tried 3 of her books, given 2 of them 5 stars. 5 stars for Year of the Witching, I think 4.5 for House of Hunger, and I DNF'd the Dark Academia one. It wasn't for me, unfortunately. But Rye, dark and deliciously witchy. I love every page of this gripping feminist tale. I'm looking forward to it. So that's what I'm going to pick up next. So I'm going to get on with that. I don't know how long I've got left of the sprint, but I'm going to at least make a start on this book. And I will check back in with you, if not later, probably tomorrow. I feel like I've checked in quite a bit today, but that's kind of the point, I suppose, of spending a couple of days with me just to see what it is that I'm up to throughout my day. So, yeah. I might end up going downstairs and watching a bit of YouTube or even some Alice in Borderland if I've got some episodes to catch up on, if Andy stayed up late last night watching it. So I'll check in with you later. Good morning. It is Tuesday. And it is currently 9:41. It's a later start to the day today. I don't think I slept particularly well last night, and I didn't have it in me to get up with Andy this morning, so I got up at 8 o'clock instead. You might be wondering what I've done for the last hour and 40 minutes. I had a shower and dried my hair. An hour and 40 minutes. It took me 40 minutes just to dry my hair. It usually takes me about 7. So I was procrastinating so hard on drying my hair, and I don't even know why. It doesn't even take me that long. Look, it's done. That's it. It's done. 7 minutes is usually what it takes me. Not that I time myself. I just noticed one day, oh, it doesn't actually take me that long, in the hopes that it would stop me doing this, because I do it every time I have a shower. Sometimes it takes me an hour just to get me in the shower. Anyway, that rhymed. Today's to-do list. Yesterday we completed the to-do list. We did very well with Monday's to-do list. I did have film ? And then read ? I was filming throughout the day with this, but nothing else. And then I did do some reading. I actually did quite a bit of reading, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm going to tell you about it in a second. But we need to go through today's to-do list and see what is on there. So I needed to open it up for myself. So put the washing on again, because Andy decided to tell me last night when he got home from work that the stuff in the basket for like the white stuff, it also needs a wash. He needs it for holiday. And I was like, fantastic. Didn't tell me that yesterday, did you? So I need to do another wash today, a white wash today. I need to export last week's vlog because it didn't work yesterday when I was exporting it right before spring started. So I need to export that one and then upload it and schedule it. Then I want to do the thumbnail for today's video. So now that I've washed my hair, I can take a photo and get the thumbnail done for this video. I say today's video, this will be Sunday's video. I've got some parcels I need to drop off at the one stop around the corner and then pick a couple of bits up while I'm doing that. So I have some books that I'm going to send to my friend Theo. He's not sent me his address yet though. So by the time I'm gone, if he's not sent it me yet, I'll do it tomorrow. I've got some Daisy and Bee orders I need to post, and I've got a dress I need to send back to Amazon. So I do have a couple bits that I need to take, and I could do with picking some bits up. I'm putting it off. It's literally across the, like I say across the road. It's not directly across the road. That would be the cafe and then Dave's, which is a corner shop. But it's like a 5-minute walk across the road. And the reason why I'm putting it off is that we've got temporary lights outside because they're doing the gas pipes all down my road. It's a very busy main road, and it's just pure fucking chaos, and I truly don't have the mental capacity to deal with that. So I'm putting it off. It would make more sense to just get it done this morning, and then it's done and I don't need to think about it again. I don't need to leave the house again. It's just done. I might try and do it if I can talk myself into it. Finish the book that I'm currently reading, which I'll tell you about in a second. I've got gaming with a question mark. I might play on my Switch for a little bit. Hoover. I could do with doing a little bit of a deep clean on the house. I do general cleaning anyway, but I could do with doing a little bit of a deep clean. I'm tempted to just leave it for the weekend once Andy's gone, because then there's only me in the house instead of him as well. Who makes the most mess, in all honesty. So I might just leave that one. I might take that one off or leave it. Take Instagram photos. Would really like to get back on top of Instagram again. I do this. I take like a week's worth of stuff and then post it in a week. And then don't take anything for like 3 weeks or a month. It's just so annoying. And I need to empty the dishwasher as well. So I'm probably going to put the wash on and empty the dishwasher first, and then it's done. And I don't need to think about that again. And then that both of those things are done, I can listen to my audiobook while I do that. And then if I can convince myself to go, I will nip to the shop so that it's done and dusted. It's just, the problem is there isn't a lull point with the traffic at all at the moment because it's stopped. And I live very close to like the M6 and the East Lancs, so it's just constant with the traffic all day. Normally I don't notice it. There is a lull point usually in the day. Around about 10:30, it goes quiet till about 2 o'clock and then it starts to build up again. But the traffic is constant, however, because they're being stopped. It's just a nightmare, and the roadworks, and just... I'm making a bigger deal out of it than is absolutely necessary. It still won't take me any longer than a max of 15 minutes to go into the shop, drop the parcels off, have a wander around, pick up what I need and get back. Just making a big deal out of nothing. But you know when you just don't want to? That's me. So reading, let's give you an update, because I started a book yesterday. I'm actually really enjoying myself. And then, before Andy got home from work, I started another one. And I don't know who she is. So I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, because I don't want to put the kiss of death on it. I feel like every single time I've said it, I have then put the kiss of death on it and not picked something up for like 4 days. So I'm not going to say it, but I started Cackle yesterday by Rachel Harrison, which makes sense with my t-shirt. I've got my Support Your Local Witches t-shirt on from Stitchess today. So... this makes sense. This is a horror, I think I read the synopsis to you, right? It's a horror, witchy, feminist read. And I'm really enjoying this so far. I made it to page 131 yesterday. This book has no consistency whatsoever with the chapter lengths. Some chapters are like 6 pages long, some are 36 pages long. There's no consistency, but I am listening to this one on BookBeat. It is a little bit slow. I would like to listen to it at 2.2, 2.3 times speed, but it is what it is. So I'm hoping to finish this today. I'm really enjoying it. I'm liking Sophie's character, who is the suspected witch, and I'm also enjoying Annie as well as a character. She's really going... She's like having a bit of a struggle. Her partner has broken up with her. And did she break up with him, or did he break up with her? Yeah, he's broken up with her, Sam. He's kind of gotten to a point where he's like, I just feel like we're roommates. Like, rather than being a couple and in a relationship, I just feel like we've gotten to the point where we're just better as mates. So she's like, okay, fair enough. And now she's decided to like just leave New York and go upstate and find a job up there instead. So that's what she's done. She's found a job up there and she's moved into this small town and very quickly made some friends. So there is Rose, who is, I think, a bit of an older woman in town. She's been really nice to her. There's this guy that is a barista. Again, he's been really nice to her. And we've got Sophie, who I think might be the first person that she met when she got to town. But we've just had like a bit of a revelation from her, but also not said in so many words. And there is a spider situation going on in Annie's house. Like, she's got an infestation of spiders, but not to the point that they're, causing her a problem. She just notices them around the house. And she's like, this is really bizarre. So yeah, we're at a point where she's trying to get over the heartbreak of her partner. She's trying to get used to not having him around anymore. Like, on occasion when she gets home from work, if she's had a shit day, she wants to phone Sam. And I think, like, he's fully moved on. I don't know if he'd already fully moved on before he officially broke off with her, but I don't know. I think that it could turn out that is the case. She's not having a great time of it at work. The kids, little shits, shock. She's teaching, I think, like, high school students, and they're bastards. So she's having a hard time of it at school, and Sophie seems to be like the only light in her day at the moment. And she's also finding that when Sophie leaves her house, or when she leaves Sophie's house, she's finding herself very, very isolated and very lonely, and she doesn't like it. So I'm enjoying this so far. It's going very well. The spider thing really adds to the eeriness of this, because I am not a fan of spiders. So it is creeping me out a little bit in that sense, but not so much that it's making me uncomfortable. So enjoying this so far. Would really like to finish this today. That would be a goal of mine, other than exporting that video and getting it uploaded, scheduled and ready to go. I don't really have any other like heavy work bits to be doing, because the video that I want to film next week is one that it would be better for me to film once Andy's got away. It'll be quieter in the house and it'll be easier for me to film. I mean, it's quiet in the house today. He's not here. I could film it today, but I'll end up filming it in parts because I'm not prepared. I'm not ready with the other couple of things that are going to be in that video. So do you know what I mean? You definitely don't, because I'm being so vague with it. So yeah, at 131 pages into this, I would like to finish it today. I'm having a very good time, but I can listen to this while I'm pottering about, doing a couple of bits of housework, making the thumbnail for this video, etc., etc. The other book that I ended up picking up was an ARC. Who is she? I've been so worried. I have been having ARCs coming in, like, not every day, but like every other day I've had an ARC drop in my inbox, and I've just wanted to smack past Steph so hard in the face for signing me up to all this shit. Like, what is wrong with her? Stop going through NetGalley. Stop signing up for ARCs. Just leave it alone. And what do? Every single time an email comes in from an ARC company or from NetGalley going, you would love this book. I've not applied for anything recently. I've managed to stop myself doing that, but I at least look at the email. Anyway, I picked up The Runaway and the Rugged by Remy Rose, book 1 in the Dusty Meadows series. And I didn't make it that far in yesterday, but I made it a reasonable chunk, considering that I have been struggling to read and I've been so worried about these ARCs that have been coming in, because I have like at least 5 or 6, I think, that will be releasing in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And it's been really worrying me, because I'm just not in a good headspace for these, and they've got to stop coming in. So anyway, I decided to give it a go yesterday, and I was like, let's just give it a bash, see what happens. And I made it to 75 pages in, 24% in, because it's only like 270 odd pages or something. So this one is a cowboy romance. We're following Amelia, and we're also following Garth. I've got to be honest, not a fan of that name. Garth. I don't like it. We're following these two. She is engaged to Nathaniel, who I think is like a celebrity or just incredibly rich. And she doesn't want to be engaged to him. Her best friend is called Clark. She doesn't want to be engaged to him. She made a mistake when she said yes. I think it was like a public proposal, and she felt like she had to. She's been trying to get out of it without being too mean about it. I think the situation that she's got herself into is that she was getting ready to go to uni, ended up meeting Nathaniel, and he's kind of been like, you don't need to work, I will look after you, but kind of controls her at the same time. So she's just kind of ended up in this situation now. And then he plans this wedding. He's like trying to rush through the whole thing and trying to plan this wedding, get this wedding done. And he's like, listen, I need you to go jump on the plane, the private jet, and go to this place. I'm not telling you where it is. The pilot knows where you're going. My sister will go with you. And she's like, absolutely fucking not. My friend Clark will come with me. So she's got to this place. It's in Texas. It turns out it's this ranch, Dusty Meadows Ranch. Just whatever the ranch is called. It's this ranch, and he's planned this entire fucking wedding, and she's like, oh, Jesus Christ. So on the day she decides to run away and finds herself in a little bit of a pickle in the middle of a field. She's gotten herself quite lost. It's very muddy and like night is drawing in, and Garth ends up having to go and look for her. Luckily he manages to find her just in time, because like the snakes and scorpions and all that shit come out naturally on a farm. Didn't know that was a thing. Or that was a thing in Texas actually either. And yeah, I'm at a point now where he's found her and he's trying to get her back to, well, he's like, listen, we've got to go back to the wedding. Clearly you've took a wrong turn somewhere on your walk for fresh air. And she's like, no, I do not want to marry him. And it's like the first time she said it out loud. She's been keeping it quiet from Clark. Clark doesn't like Nathaniel anyway. Garth is a single dad. He has a 12-year-old daughter. And yeah, he's an ex-bull rider. Bull rider? You know what I mean. So yeah, we've got the runaway bride and we have the cowboy. And I think what's going to happen here is that she's in a position where she's like, yeah, I don't want to marry him. I cannot marry him. And he's like, Garth's like, okay, we can sort this out. You can come back to mine. We can keep you hidden there. He will not find you. And then once he's fucked off, you can get on with your life. And she's like, oh shit. I have nothing. I have no job. I have no qualifications. I have no money. I have nowhere to live. I have nothing. And I think what's going to happen here is that he's going to offer her a place to stay if she does, like, pulls her weight around the farm and does some work. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. But so far, I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. It's going well so far. Do enjoy me a good cowboy romance. So I'm having a good time so far. The Garth thing is bothering me because she literally, like, she actually goes out of her way to say his name quite often as well. So she'll say like a sentence or she'll ask a question. But even though she's looking at him, it'll be like, can you help me, Garth? What day is it, Garth? And I'm like, oh my God, just, you're looking at him. Stop saying his name. It's not a sexy name, I will say. No offense to anybody called Garth, but it's not. Let's be realistic here. You know who all I can think about is Garth from Supernatural. Is he called Garth? I'm sure he's called Garth. You know, the one that ends up... Oh, no, I'm not going to say that because that's a spoiler if you've not got to watch, like, the later seasons. But Garth, right? Anyway, that's all I can think about. I haven't got this rugged, sexy-looking, 6-foot-odd cowboy in my... Also, he's got a moustache as well, and I don't think I'm here for that either. She was describing his moustache, and I was like, it's not doing it for me. Anyway... This cover's cute though, I will say. But yeah, so I'm also reading that. Don't think I'm going to get that one finished in this vlog, but we'll see. I will probably end up having to do like a full wrap up on it in my 24-hour timer challenge. It might just last me the week. Unless I like end up managing to sit down today and managing to smash Cackle out as well as the Runaway and the Rugged. That would be fucking fantastic, but I doubt that's going to happen. So I'm going to go because this has been a 16-minute clip. My apologies. I just wanted to run through... What the fuck is that? Just wanted to run through... Whenever my Facebook Messenger goes off, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, who is that? Because nobody messages me on there, and I don't want it. I just wanted to go through my to-do list with you today and give you an update on my reading because I'm actually really proud of myself. Like, this is great. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get on with my chores to start the day off, and then I'm going to get upstairs, get that video exporting, and then I may drag myself outside to go to the shop. Let's go. Just very quickly, I checked that message from Facebook Messenger. It's a friend from high school. She's arranging a school reunion. We haven't had one of those before. And she's arranging a school reunion for early next year and said, can you believe it's been 20 years since we left school? No, the fuck it's not. It hasn't. What do you mean? No, it hasn't. Don't do that to me. Just needed to come on and tell you that and tell you the shock to my system that gave me finding out it's been 20 years since I left school. That would make sense. I was 16 and I'm going to be 36 in December. Oh, God. Well, let's just put a dampener on my day. Cheers. Anywho, let's go. Hello, all right, it's 2 o'clock. It's just gone 2 o'clock actually. It's 2:05 in the afternoon. I did nip out. I went to the shop. I didn't end up filming anything. It was just so busy and I had to keep my eye on where I could actually walk. They've got like dedicated pedestrian areas. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but that's like the street across the road from my house, and it's worse further down the road where I was going for the shop. So it was chaos. I didn't end up filming anything. So I have been out, I've nipped out, and I've done what I needed to do with those parcels and got the bits that I needed to get. I have reshuffled some of my work stuff, so I now have like a good schedule. I've ended up printing off like a printable calendar for August and September, and then putting on content for both months for YouTube, Instagram and TikTok. I tend to cross post my Instagram stuff to TikTok and just do it that way. It's easier. I've made a list of books that I'm interested in reading for autumn, so I can put those in my autumn reset, which will be coming later on this month. And what else have I done? Is that everything? I responded to a couple of emails that I needed to respond to, and I have actually, I've exported, uploaded, scheduled, and all of that good stuff for my video as well. I think I may have done a clip of that. I also faffed about on my shelves a little bit as well. I forgot to turn my camera on to show you that, but I've actually just swapped my TBR carts around. I don't know if so my blue one used to be over here, and it had like loads of manga in it. I've gone and shuffled my shelves about a little bit because I'm actually going to get rid of a bunch of graphic novels that I've no interest in reading anymore. And I've moved so this rose gold TBR cart, I tend to put my TBR in the top. On the bottom is my 25 books in 2025, so that I don't forget what I'm supposed to be reading. And in the middle was my ARCs. So I've ended up moving my ARCs down to the bottom shelf because I don't have as many 25 books in 2025 to read now as I did at the beginning of the year. So yeah, I've moved any outstanding ARCs down. The middle is now empty, but what I'm going to do is actually put in there my autumn TBR, I think, so I can keep my eye on it and see what I have decided to put on that I'm interested in reading in autumn, so I don't forget anything. And the top, the books will be rotated so often that hopefully they won't get too much sun damage. I've noticed a lot of my manga has sun damage that has been sat in that space, because as you can see, it's very close to my bay window. So I'm hoping that because this will be rotated every 4 weeks, they shouldn't get any sun damage. Fingers crossed. If I notice any, I will not put my TBR in there any longer. There was a reason why I had it over here, because the sun doesn't get over here. But yeah, I've gone and moved that TBR cart over there, so it's got the top shelf now has manga in it. The bottom two have middle grade, and I've gone and the rest of my middle grade now is just on one shelf here. My non-fiction has moved down, and I've brought my Dungeon Crawler Carl down and my Hunger Games down, and basically that shelf is like got loads of space on it now. And then I've moved some of my other fantasy that I did put on the top of my Daisy and Bee shelf. I've actually moved some of it over, so like the Daverbad trilogy and Poppy War trilogy, all of that is now back over there. And I've gone and put a few of the paperbacks that I had stacked up on the floor on the top now. So it's looking a bit neater in here, a little bit tidier, which is great. I do now have 2 large stacks of books that I'm getting rid of though. So I am ready to film my August ins and outs, but it's just a little bit too early. I'll probably do that next week. But while I was doing all of that, and while I was doing all of the admin, I have in fact finished Cackle by Rachel Harrison. I can't believe I've managed to finish this. The second portion of this book, considering I wasn't even 50% of the way through, this 180 pages, how much have I read today of this? 185 pages. I'm keeping track this week because I'm feeling, I don't want to jinx and say it, but I feel like I'm getting back to it. So I'm making a note of exactly what I'm reading this week so I can do one of those what I read this week posts. I haven't been bothered about doing them for the last few weeks because it's gone, I'll read at the beginning of the week and then I'll go like 4 days without touching a book. So I'm really hoping that's not going to be the case this week. I feel like I could be back in the groove, honestly. So I finished this 180 odd pages. It went so fast, so much faster than the first part did, I think. And I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really good. I've ended up giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed that atmosphere. And although I did find Annie a little bit whiny, I actually really did like her. And I enjoyed her character arc throughout this story. I did enjoy Sophie's character as well. I was worried for a minute that things were going to take an incredibly dark turn with Sophie. But I think the thing that I loved the most about this was the slow burn aspect of getting to the creepy and the atmospheric and the eerie portions of this book. It didn't happen immediately, and I kind of loved that. I kind of loved as well that there wasn't like a romantic aspect to this. There was in some sense, but there wasn't in others, and I just really enjoyed it. I don't know, I really loved it for what it was, which is literally a deliciously dark feminist tale of witches, bad ex-boyfriends, good coffee and friendly spiders. I didn't even mind the spiders. I actually kind of enjoyed that familiar aspect to it. I thought it was quite good coming from someone who doesn't like spiders, and I really enjoyed the friendships in here and the kind of, but not really, found family element to this as well, with Sophie and also with the spiders too. So I really enjoyed this. I've given it 4 stars. It's my first Rachel Harrison. I'm definitely keen to pick up more from her. So I do have such sharp teeth on my TBR. What else has she done? I've got a physical copy of that on my TBR. I've got Black Sheep on my Kindle. I've heard good things about The Return. I have heard mixed things about So Thirsty, which is hilarious because The Return has a higher rating than So Thirsty. And then Play Nice comes out a little bit later on this year. Is it September? Yeah, September 9th. So I'm keen for that as well. So yeah, I enjoyed this. A new author for me to keep my eye on, which is very exciting. So it is, as I said, 2:10-ish, and I haven't had any dinner yet. I've just kind of been consumed by work, which is fucking brilliant in all honesty. I feel $1 million today. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why. And I'm not going to question it too deeply, but I feel $1 million and I'm very excited about that. So I need to go down and have some lunch. But I think what I'm going to do, because I do want to get back to the Runaway and the Rugged. Actually, if I could finish this today, that would be awesome as well. But I don't know if that's going to be possible. But I think if I need an audiobook, because I can audiobook while I'm making my lunch as well, I think what I might do is start the Dungeon Anarchist's Cookbook by Matt Dinnerman. I'm feeling more confident now about picking this one up. I've been so worried. There's been so many books on my actual August TBR that I'm so excited about picking up that I haven't picked them up, even though they probably could get me out of my slump. I've been so nervous that I could end up ruining the experience of reading them because of my slump. So, and it's just not been worth the risk for me. The Favourites, Empire of the Damned, this one, they've all, actually this one and Empire of the Damned have intimidated me with the size as well, but I have just not wanted to pick them up and ruin them with my slump. So I'm feeling better about picking this one up, and it's the sort of book that I can have on in the background because I'm like into the world and I know what's going on with it and stuff, and I dip in and out of the book, but it's also such a fantastic audiobook that I can just listen to the audio. It's a good one to have on in the background, and I don't mind taking a handful of days over this either. So if it bleeds into, like, I've got my 24-hour timer challenge coming up this weekend, and chances are it's during that I will end up finishing this. So I'm not bothered about the fact that I won't end up finishing this during this vlog, because this vlog is probably going to end today unless I get to a point where I don't have too long left on this but I'm not in the mood to finish it off today. Then I may run into tomorrow a little bit with this vlog just to wrap this book up. I think that's what I might end up doing. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I think for audiobook wise, I think I'm going to move on to this one. It's actually on my TBR, so that would be good because so far I am failing miserably with my August TBR. This is what it currently looks like. And from this, all I have read is A Business Proposal and Thorns on Fire. That's it. So I have quite a bit to get to on this. And I'm hopeful that maybe I might be able to get to a couple more of them, but I'm trying my best not to beat myself up about it. We'll have to see what happens. I do hope to get to Shield of Sparrows. I really wanted to get to Empire of the Damned, but if I need to push that back, I'll need to push it back. It is what it is. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just feeling good about stuff, which is great news. It's great news. I think doing this over just a couple of days and having the 2 days back to back as well where I can work has given me, it's revived me. I hadn't realised how much being out of my routine was actually really mentally affecting me. I didn't realise that I was so ingrained in that Monday, Tuesday at home routine that it was going to affect me so badly to change my days to Tuesday and Wednesday for my dad to help Matt out with childcare. So yeah, I hadn't realised that that was a thing. I think doing this over just a couple of days is taking the pressure off a little bit. My clips are a little bit longer, I understand that, but I'm just enjoying myself. I feel like I'm falling back in love with, and I really don't want to put the kiss of death on it, but I feel like I'm falling back in love with reading a little bit more again, and I feel like I'm falling back in love with vlogging therefore again as well. I just feel brand new this week. I don't know what's going on. And like I say, maybe it's having that Monday and Tuesday again. So I'll have to keep my eye on that next week. Next week will be a little bit different anyway, because Andy's not here at all. He goes away on Saturday, so he's away for 10 days then. So it will be a little bit different, and I have someone coming to stay, and then I'll be going down to Jade's for the wedding. So there'll be a lot going on next week. It'll be a busy week. But yeah. Oh, she's feeling brand new. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So yeah, I'm going to go downstairs and make some lunch. I'm going to take this down with me, and I'm also going to take my Kindle down with me. I may end up sitting and watching a bit of YouTube. In fact, I probably will while I have my lunch. But recently, like yesterday, I was finding that I put a YouTube video on. I was just going to watch YouTube until Andy got home from work from about 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish. And I found that after about an hour, I just actually wanted to read, which is when I ended up picking this up. So nice. Love that for me. Let's go make lunch.
Another rainy afternoon. I don't know what I'm to do. I just miss you more than anything. It's way too quiet in the house. I'm just wasted on the couch. Guess I don't wanna feel anything. Wish you'd stay.
Hello. It's a little bit later in the day. It's about 6:20, but my internet has stopped working. Don't ask me why. I don't know the answer to the question. There's a problem. So I'm picking out a couple movies for us to watch one once he gets home. So yeah, we've kind of been left in a situation where we've got no internet right now, and yeah, that sucks. So I need to pick a movie or 5.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay. Decided this might be the best way to show you. I ended up with loads because I forgot there was already movies down here as well. Yeah, if you guys, can you let me know if you'll be interested in seeing like my movie collection, my DVD and Blu-ray collection, or some of my comfort movies and me to explain it, or something to do with movies. Let me know if that's the type of video you'll be interested in, and what type, if you would. Anyway, the ones that were downstairs, I have Shaun of the Dead, When Harry Met Sally, which explains why I couldn't find Meg upstairs. All 6 Scream movies, love these. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, definitely one of my comfort movies. Halloween Uncut, I never know what number movie that one is. Anyway, doesn't matter. Signs, I love that movie. And then from upstairs, I brought down Independence Day. Love this movie. The Gentleman, great movie. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. The Last Song, one of Andy's favourites. Brick Mansions, haven't watched this one in a long time. Miss Congeniality, The Proposal, 13 Hours, another comfort movie. We Bought a Zoo, another comfort movie. Legion, he hasn't seen it yet. Invictus. Constantine, he says he's not seen that. I don't think that's true. And he was watching Mission Impossible 3 last night, or at least we started watching it when he fell asleep. So, yeah, Mission Impossible 3 last night. So, if he wanted to continue it or watch one of the other ones, I've got up until Fallout. Mission Impossible 1 to 6. So, I have all of those too. So, we have quite the selection there for us to watch. It appears that it might be back on. I can't make my mind up with what's going on here. It seems like it could be back on, but it's also clocking in and out, so I don't know. But yeah, I did read a little bit more of Rough and Rugged before. I think I'm just shy of 100 pages, so I didn't read too much. I just couldn't concentrate properly. So maybe that's me done in for the day with Cackle. I'm going to try and watch some YouTube now, I think. But if that doesn't work out for me, then I will pick my book back up. And I might move on to Dungeon Crawler Carl 3. But, yeah. We'll see how that goes. I might read more of my arc in bed later. We'll see. So, I'm going to go. I just wanted to let you know that our internet isn't working. I have already edited yesterday's portion of this vlog. So, I've just got today's portion of the vlog to go. It's already over an hour. Because I could yap for England. So yeah, I'm going to go and I will check back in with you later. Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 20th. It's 6:30 in the morning. I am pretty dang tired, I'm not going to lie. I am going to wrap this vlog up here. I didn't make much more progress in the Runaway and the Rugged yesterday, so there's no way I'm going to finish it today. Not a cat in hell's chance. I'm on page 95, 31% in, so I'll probably just end up finishing it off at some point this week. If I haven't got it finished by the beginning of my 24-hour timer challenge, it's probably the first one that I will try and wrap up. But if I do get it finished by then, I will just give you my full thoughts at the beginning of that vlog. So keep your eyes peeled for that, because that is that the next video coming up after this one? Yes, it is. That will be the next video coming up after that. So you'll get my full thoughts on that in there, because I don't do wrap-ups anymore. I just truly can't be bothered. So yeah, just keep your eyes peeled for that. Whether or not I finish it, you will get whether or not I finish it at some point this week before my 24-hour time challenge, you'll get my full thoughts in the 24-hour time challenge. So I did manage to, what did I manage to read? I DNF'd Unhinged by Steph. I read Under the Oak Tree Volume 2, the comic, which I gave 4.5 stars. And I read Cackle by Rachel Harrison, which I gave 4 stars. I think that this video has been a pretty good success. I have yapped a lot, and I understand that. But I think it's been a really good outlet for me in multiple senses. I think that it's been great for me because I, by the looks of things, have just started picking up books again and reading, which is good news, because I've actually managed to finish 2 books. Granted, one of them was a comic, but still. And I think it's been good for me in a vlogging sense as well. I've been enjoying picking my camera back up, which is really nice. I was editing Monday's portion of this video yesterday, and at the beginning of the video, even watching it back, I was concerned for myself. I'm all right. It's just that my mental health over like the back end of last week especially, and then over the weekend, it picked up a little bit because of the social stuff that I was doing, but I was also exhausted because of the social stuff I was doing, and I was mentally drained already. But at the beginning of this week, Monday especially, I was not in a particularly good place, like with my mental health. I was struggling. I was crying a lot more than I usually do, and I was struggling, and I was super concerned for myself watching that back. I'm all right. I just wasn't having a good time, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it. Unless you've got or had depression and you have anxiety, I'm all right. I'm just having a very low point, and I'm just not having a good time in that moment. Like, I know I'm going to come out the back end of it. It wasn't severe, but it was, for me, it felt severe because it's the lowest I'd felt for a very long time. So in that moment, I was like really down bad on myself. And then yesterday I just seemed to all of a sudden perk up. I haven't rewatched it yet, but with the way I was feeling, I perked up massively because I was feeling like I was getting back into the groove of things. I was enjoying picking my camera up again. I was enjoying my books and I was having a good time again. And it almost seems like a very quick 180. I've only edited the Monday portion, not the Tuesday portion, but I already know with how I'm feeling in myself, it seems like a very quick rapid change and switch over. My mood can be quite erratic like that, unfortunately, but I just wanted to show how bad I really was feeling on Monday and towards the back end of last week. Like Thursday was horrendous. It was a really bad day on Thursday for me, but I think I was coming out of it a little bit by the weekend. But Monday, I wasn't confident that this video was going to go well, and I was nervous about that, I think. So I'm hoping that it has gone well, but I know it is incredibly happy because even before this clip and before the clip before it, I know that we're over an hour into the video. So 2 days and you're getting over an hour's worth of content from me, so yay for that. I do hope that this has been fun for you guys though. As much as it's been fun for me, I hope it's been fun for you guys, because I know I didn't take you out with me yesterday when I nipped for that walk to the shop. It was just way too busy on the road and I just couldn't concentrate on having the camera on as well as trying to get myself to the shop. Also, it was super busy with guys on the road working, so I know I haven't necessarily left the house. I am trying not to buy too many books. I've got a lot of pre-orders coming in. So I could have taken us to the bookshop. I could have taken us out. I'm not really the type of girly that goes to the coffee shop to go reading. I don't drink coffee or tea. So that's not my jam either, which is why I don't do it that often. I could just do it for the aesthetic and get a water, but I just feel like that defeats the object entirely. I'd rather be at home. In all honesty, the last place I want to be is trying to read in a coffee shop, especially in the summer holidays. So I just hope it's been fun for you. I know we've been trapped in the house for 2 days, but I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you've been able to see the change in my mood, maybe the change in my pace of reading, that I do appear to be picking things up again, and I am enjoying what I'm reading. Even though it has been of slow pace, I am enjoying it. I didn't start Dungeon Crawler Carl last night. I'm actually wondering whether or not to kind of save that for next week. Like, maybe I might pick it up during my 24-hour time challenge. I haven't decided what my TBR is going to be for that yet. I either completely wing it when I start it, or I try and get through some of my TBR, or I try and just pick a TBR. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet with that. But if I don't read it then, I think I might read it next week while I'm decorating the library and tidying the house, ready for a friend to come and stay before I go to Jade's next weekend. Not this weekend coming up, but the weekend after for the wedding. So I might save it for then. It will be a really good book to have on while pottering, cleaning the house up and decorating the library. In fact, it will probably be the best book that I've got on my shelves to do that with. So if I don't read it during the 24-hour time challenge, I might read it then. If I do read it during the 24-hour time challenge, maybe I'll pick up the fourth one. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up here because it's already been 8 minutes and I'm just adding to the length of the vlog. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it. I haven't done as many activities as I thought I was going to do. I did a little bit of gaming. I did actually catch up with my reading journal as well, and I just completely forgot to turn the camera on. Sometimes I get so, and this is the reason why I've done this, to try and get myself back into picking the camera up during like stuff that actually would be really interesting for you lot, especially like I've reorganized my shelves a little bit as well, and I completely forgot to turn the camera on for that too. I think sometimes I just find it easier. I love to watch those TikToks of people reshuffling their shelves or, you know, clean talk, stuff like that, but I just don't know how they've got the patience to do all that cleaning and drag the camera around at the same time while making sure that they've got the right angles. I don't know how they've got the patience. I haven't got it in me. Maybe I'm in the wrong job. But I'm just not that aesthetically inclined, you know? Sometimes I turn the camera on, sometimes I don't. It is what it is, alas. But yeah, I hope this video has been enjoyable for you. I've finished a couple of books, which is great news, and I'm very proud of myself. And I've fallen back in love with picking up my camera again, which, again, great news. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Chat to me in the comments down below. Can you recommend me some witchy reads, please? I've read your usual, The Ex-Hex. I've read Rewitched. I've read Sangu Mandana's witchy books. Anything else witchy that I've read? I have read The Crimson Moth and Rebel Witch. I haven't yet read Spell Shop. And my intention was to read it this year, but somebody told me that they don't think I'm going to enjoy it, and now I've been put off. So if you could let me know about that one, that would be great. I have so many books on my TBR that I'm just at a point now where if somebody says to me, I don't think you're going to enjoy that, and more than one person says it to me, I'll unhaul it. I just haven't got the patience for it, in all honesty. Oh, I do need to get back to Her Majesty's Royal Coven. That's a good one that I could pick up soon, actually. But yeah, I recommend me some witchy reads. Go for it. Even like horror ones like Cackle. I do have Slewfoot on my TBR by Brom. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy that at all. But yeah, chat to me in the comments down below. If you don't want to leave me an actual comment, like a full-blown comment, but you would like to let me know you made it to the end of this video, leave me the crystal ball emoji. I love that emoji. It's so pretty. Leave me the crystal ball emoji. And I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.